Hey y'all, this is Amanda and this is my Texas Donate Garden, and today I'm going to take you through the process of building this particular arbor in my garden utilizing a kind of new mechanism where you don't have to do concrete. Okay, so for those of you who might remember, this is a project that I've been meaning to work on for quite a bit. I am months behind on doing this project. It's just been so brutally hot, has been the issue. And I was doing a lot of this, like I didn't have a builder come in and make this for me. I made this myself. I needed to do it on a budget, and I needed to do it in a way that was easier than pouring concrete into the ground. Concrete is what I used to do the shade garden, which was fine and dandy, but you can get to a certain point where it's either it's too hot to pour concrete, and we're kind of at that point. So I wanted to go a different direction with it, where I thought it would be really nice and stable. This would be a semi-permanent situation, which is a requirement within my HOA, and something that I could really enjoy for a lot of years to come. So let me go ahead and start with the drawing that I did a few months ago, just to give you an idea of what the original vision was. So the idea for this design came about when I was able to get a couple of planters off of Amazon raised garden beds, and I've already added those into the back part of the backyard. And the idea was to create more of an entrance moment for my garden. I've been wanting to add more height to my garden. This was an opportunity to do so. So I would have the two raised planters, and then I would create an arbor, three-dimensional arbor going between the two. Now I would want to utilize inexpensive materials, and I would utilize some lattice work that would tie back into the entrance that I created for the shade garden. So this is just me kind of roughly sketching out what my thoughts would be. This is not exactly how the arch turned out, but it turned out very similar in a lot of aspects. The really big deal, like I said, was to add height, and then to be able to train some of these loofah and birdhouse gourd vines over the top of it, and then perhaps in the future something else. Or if I end up really liking the loofah and birdhouse gourds, maybe I'll just continue to do those throughout the year. So I had to start by moving all these vines out of the way. I had to plant these plants quite a while ago because they were dying in their containers. You can see since I've planted them, they are extremely happy. So definitely had to shift these out of the way. And then I used a utility knife to cut an X hole in the base. Now here are the spikes that I'm using. They're about 18 inches long. And so basically you hammer the spike into the ground, and then the top portion holds a 4x4 in place. Now this area of the ground is still very moist because I have to address some drainage issues right here. So this actually worked really pretty easily. If you decide to use these stakes, definitely take the time to just allow a hose to trickle over that area for several hours and allow the soil to soften up quite a bit. We just use a 2x4 that we actually broke many times. We had to use several ones to kind of hammer into it, because if we just hammered the stake directly, I was afraid that we would end up bending the metal. But this process was really pretty simple. Definitely needed two people to do this. My husband ended up being the muscle on this project, which worked out really, really well. He was sore the next day, but we just used a small little sledgehammer and that worked great. And then basically we just went around to make sure that they were all at approximately the correct height. Okay, so we use 4x4 pressure treated lumber, and this is the same type of lumber that I utilize for my shade garden. I would prefer to use cedar, but it was about like 10 times the amount that this was, and that's just not in my budget. So this stuff will last 15, 20 plus years. I will stain it at a later date, but basically you just slide the 4x4 into the top portion of the stake, and then it has a couple of screws that you use a ratchet with, and you kind of just ratchet them tight, and basically it forces basically the metal to kind of really hold on or hug onto the 4x4s. Now let's talk a little bit about cost or price. So these 4x4s were each about $10 each. I bought also three 2x4s, which I think were like in the $5 to $6 range. I bought a box of 100 screws, which was like 20 bucks. The lattice we already have, and the metal anchor stakes, got those on Amazon for $50. Now, ideally, I would have built this prior to all of these vines. That would have been better for the plant. It would have been better all across the board, but that's not what ended up happening. So here we are trying to separate the vines out so that we can kind of fold them over into the raised gardens behind them that they're actually growing out of. And then that would allow us more freedom in the center of the arbor in order to be able to do the top portion of the arbor. I think we actually did pretty good at this. We only, accidentally tore out a few of the vines. Next, I measured from one side to the other and cut a board approximately that same size. And then I used just these very easy grip clamps to kind of hold it in place on one side, and then basically utilizing a level and a grip on the other side, we leveled it out, and I just kind of used my hand just to kind of tap it down into the correct place. And then once it was in the correct place, we just used the same type of screws that we utilize for the shade garden to secure this in place. And I just have a very standard Ryobi drill. It's not one of those like super powerful ones, and I was drilling in 2.5-inch screws and they went in wonderful. Utilizing that drill worked really good. We used the level a lot, constantly checking to make sure that we were fairly level and fairly straight. Now, I have no doubt that this arbor is in no way near perfect. It definitely will probably has a little bit of a slight lean. It's not definitely like squared up, but that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. Y'all know me, perfection is not everything for me, and I really love that we built this ourselves and for such a small amount. So we repeated the same process on the other side, just making sure that we were getting as level as can be. We did have to basically kind of shift over the 4x4s to get them a little bit more square before securing each side. All right, next we did shorter pieces of lumber that we cut to size for the side, utilizing the same process of the grip clamps and utilizing a level and just really making sure that these were as level as can be. We also made sure to check on the upright 4x4s, using the level on them to make sure that they were as upright as possible. There is one that ended up being a little bit off, but it all squared up pretty well once we ended up doing both sides. And then of course I just used the 2.5-inch screws again to secure this in place. And then we repeated the same exact process on the other side of the arbor. And that I would say was the hardest side because it was the very last one and we had to push the 4x4s from multiple angles to kind of get them into a more level position before screwing this very last piece in place. So you can see Jeff checking here, and we were really happy with how everything turned out. The back left was just a touch off, but everything else looked really good. We were real happy with how this all turned out. Now, at this point, we have this leftover lattice that I used for the shade garden, and we definitely wanted to repurpose that. And it was not an exact fit in this space, but we utilized it anyway. So we added additional 2x4s down low so that the lattice would have something to screw onto at the base. And for some reason, my camera overheated and we did not get that part on video. But you can see the lattice fit into place. It's screwed at the top and it also is screwed at the bottom, secured in place. It doesn't fit all the way completely from side to side, but y'all, I already had it. I didn't want to waste it and I didn't want to go spend more money. So this worked great. Now going on to the next part, I need to do the parts that go across the top so that the vines won't fall through. So basically I found the centermost point on both of these sides, and it was 55 divided by 2. Thankfully it was 55 on both sides. So I was real happy with how that turned out, and made a mark on the side so that Jeff could tell me when I was lining up these overhead pieces, he could tell me if it was directly in the center. And then I just use additional screws, the same 2.5 inch ones I have been utilizing to secure this in place. So once this first one was even, basically I just took, I lined up a whole bunch of these, making sure that they were all about the same depth. And then I used 2 of these in between each one of the pieces. So you can see me kind of lining them up right here, kind of figuring out what I want to do. And I didn't want to do like a space between, like do them really close together. I wanted to be able to easily fit my hands in between because I will have to weave vines in and out. I found that pre-drilling worked the absolute best. So you can see me pre-drilling holes here, and then I'll go back with the actual screws and secure one whole side in place, and then I'll switch over to the other side and secure those in place as well. And then what I'll do is I'm only securing every 4th one on here. So there's 2 in between that are not secured in place. I was just utilizing them as a template, as a measurement. So you can see what this looks like now that I start to remove the ones in between. So now the rest of the process is just to go through it and secure all the rest in place. Okay, I had to get up pretty high on the ladder, so having Jeff there to support the ladder is super important. I very much wanted to do as much of this as I could on my own, just so I could show you all that it is possible to do. Having a second pair of hands was super important for safety, and then I also legit just needed his muscles. We took breaks quite frequently. It actually rained this particular day when we were working on this top portion, and the humidity was unbelievable. And so we kind of would just secure a couple and then go in and take a break and then come back out and secure a few more. I was just really hoping for the sun to go down at this point because it was so unbelievably hot. And then of course, as we're getting to the end of the project, I realized that I'm going to end up being one wood piece, one slat short, and so I will have to put that on at a later point in time. There was no way in heck after this long couple of days of building this arch that I was going to make yet another trip to the Home Depot. So you'll see that I'm just one short at this point, but no problem. I'll get that added at a later point in time. So this next part was really freaking hard, but I will say that was my fault. I mean, I should have gotten this arbor created a long time ago before these vines got so far along, but it is what it is at this point. You know, it just didn't work for my timing and budget earlier on. You know, even though this was a really inexpensive project to do, it still cost me about 125 to $150 to create, which is not bad at all. The big savings was I already had some of the lattice, so that helped quite a bit. And so basically I'm just taking the loofah and birdhouse gourd vines and I'm using pieces of twine to tie them up. I really did have to take some time to really unthread these, untangle these, and try to spread out the vines as much as possible. I have no doubt that I broke some vines, so I think over the next couple of days I'll see some dead spots and I'll probably have to pull those out. Which I think will be fine. But I will say these vines are growing like crazy. So I even think within a couple of weeks, you're just going to see these going all the way over the top of this trellis, and it is going to be absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see once it's all covered. Okay, and there we go. I'm really happy with the look of it. Really happy. The treated lumber isn't my favorite, but it was very cost effective. I know it's going to last for decades to come. The greens of the loofah and the birdhouse gourds going up, they're a little tattered right now because they've definitely been through heck the last few days as we've been creating this design. But they will perk up and they will continue to grow and they will fill all the way over, which will be absolutely beautiful. Let me take y'all to a couple of different angles. Angle from back over on this side. And eventually I'm going to paint it potentially the same color that I'm going to paint the shade garden. I'm really pleased with the look. It really just does a lot to like center the garden. It amazes me that it used to be all grass, nothing here. Not one dang thing, and now look. And I feel like within a couple of years there being absolutely no grass here at all, which is the ultimate goal, is to have no grass. You walk from this direction, all the kiddos are outside playing. Gorgeous. And let me show y'all from underneath the porch. Doesn't that look great? And now this is like my view out the window from my window behind me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally obsessed with it. Just gotta put that one last piece in right up there. All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed today's video, seeing me create this amazing structure. Big shout out to my husband for helping me do this. It is not a one-person job whatsoever. It's potentially was a three-person job, but we still managed. I mean, this structure, it is solid into the ground. So I am really excited about it. I've got plans. I think once it cools off and these vines are done growing, I think that I'm going to cover it with fairy lights after I get it painted. I'd like to hang some stuff from here. I'd like to eventually do some hanging baskets. Some of the things I do need to do in the next week or so is finish laying cardboard and mulch. We've had some grass coming up in this particular area, so I do have to scrape back the mulch, add cardboard, and then put mulch back on top. So that'll be quite the job coming up. I'm getting bitten. Mosquitoes are finally out in our area, definitely getting bitten up. So I better wrap this up. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Drop me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you think that I should paint this the same color as the shade garden entrance or if this should have its own personality. Let me know which one you think. And be sure to check me out on my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.